Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing today? I hope that you can hear me and see me okay. I am going to just check. Please let me know if you can hear me. I ran a little bit late this morning. Some technical setup issues. And I would really love to know if you can in fact hear me and see me okay. Let us check before we get into this, otherwise it will be a completely useless session. So let us see. Okay, great. We do have audio. All right, so welcome to yet another illustration inspiration weekly session. These sessions are for new and novice illustrators who are wanting to build a consistent practice and to commit to their own illustration growth. This growth journey, just like any other journey, is non-linear. It is a journey with ups and downs and twists and turns and all kinds of shenanigans along the way. And yeah, I've been illustrating for about I think 2 years now, if I think back. Yeah, probably about 2 years. And I find that I still flow into it and I flow out of it, and I have good days and bad days, and I make progress, and then I feel like I'm moving backwards and I'm unsure about things, but that is all part of the growth process. The most important thing is to keep showing up, to keep giving it a go every week. If you can't do every day, then every week, and that's exactly what these sessions are for. These are random illustration prompts. I don't know what the drawing is going to be, and when we go through the process of getting our prompts, it's as much a surprise to me as it is to you. I then start my sketching process on this live session until the hour is done, and then the invitation is for both you and me to complete and finish, carry on working on that illustration in time for next week and in time for the next illustration prompt. Bearing in mind that sometimes life gets in the way, and one week you'll have more time than others. And case in point, I have not yet finished the illustration from our last live session. I will also say life happened last week and I wasn't able to do the live session last week. So yeah, this is a journey of giving yourself grace, but continuing to commit to the process. So please, if you are beating yourself up for getting it wrong or missing a practice or not getting the results that you hope to, I want to offer you the invitation to practice a little bit of self-compassion. I need to do that, you need to do that, we all need to do that on a daily basis, and with our illustration practice and everything else that we get up to in life. So the way that this works is I have a little worksheet that we work through, and if you would like to follow along and get the worksheet, there is a link beneath this video that you can where you can access it. And we're going to go through this worksheet. We are going to use a random spinning wheel that will enable us to go through the content and see exactly what this week's subject and illustration is going to be. So I'm going to switch the cameras. I'm hoping you can see that okay. It is a little bit squiffy. I am not in my own home at the moment, and so this is very much a temporary setup. Not ideal. I'm going to see if I can zoom in here a little bit. Let's see. So that it is a little less distracting. I hope that is... Oh, it's also upside down. let's just change that, flip, and then there we go. So, all right, and then we need to reposition it. Okay, so hopefully you can see that okay. This is the worksheet we are working on. You can see it's practice drawing cats and dogs. Now, you do have the option, and I invite you to practice your autonomy and choose whatever character you want. It doesn't have to be dogs and cats if that doesn't resonate with you. It just happens to be a consistent subject character that I chose for this weekly practice. But please go ahead and change that according to your preferences. So this is the week of, today being the 31st. So this is the week of 31 July. Okay, and the way that we go through this worksheet, we've got many different criteria or elements that that will determine what we're drawing this week. And I have a system of wheels that will randomly select the different elements. So the first section, and I'm going to put this to the side. The first section, as you can see here, is subject. And so we're going to decide or see, are we going to be drawing a cat or a dog? Let's see what the wheel says. This week is a cat. Okay, then we've got our cat breeds on the left hand side here. So which cat breed are we going to be drawing? An Oriental. That's interesting. So an Oriental cat is this week's character, or like I said, choose your own animal or character. Okay, then we're going to come to the sizes. So this refers to the body size and shapes of our character. First of all, body type. It's going to be a curvy Oriental. Then the main shape, and this shape can be either or, and the shape of the character or elements within your illustration. Round. So the round shapes are going to be prominent. Okay, and then we get to the features of our character. So we want big and small. So first of all, head. It's going to have a small head. Oh, wrong one. Then ears. Big ears. Eyes. Small eyes. And small nose. Okay. Oh, I've done that all wrong. That was small eyes, small nose. Okay, then we get to the long and the short of it. Arms, legs and tail. So long arms, short legs, short tail. Right, number 3 is our style of our illustration. So this is an invitation for you to work with different styles if you're still figuring out your style. If you have a solid style already in place, then by all means stick with what you know. Or maybe if you want to kind of step outside your comfort zone, then maybe it's worth trying something different. So first of all, detail and texture. Are we going to have a lot or a little? Let me get my style button or my style wheels. So lots or little. Detail. Just a little bit of detail. So we're not going to have that much going on in the image. And then texture. Lots of texture. Cool. That's a nice combo. All right, and then we've got line style. So line style refers to your, essentially the lines of your illustration and what medium are you going to use to work with that line style. So again, if you have a solid style already in place, then that's great, stick with that. Or if you're still figuring that out, then yeah, play around with these different options. So the line style for this illustration is pencil. And then brush set. This is predominantly relevant to those of us who draw digitally, and in particular Procreate, but it'll work for other drawing applications as well. And when you can organize your brushes into different groups. So as you might know, it can be very overwhelming just getting not only the initial brushes, like understanding and getting used to the initial brushes that come with your apps, but also the myriad of brush sets that are available online, and that can sometimes hinder your growth as an illustrator. So this is a means of kind of focusing on only a few brush sets and getting familiar just with those brush sets. Now, there's a little bit of legwork for you to organize those brush sets into these categories, 10 categories or less if you want. And yeah, and however you categorize it, those brush sets is completely up to you. If you are an analog illustrator, you could group your crayons or your pencils or your watercolor brushes or whatever tools you use, you could categorize them accordingly, and then this is how you use this brush set selector. But of course you can also just stick with the one set that's your go-to all the time if you are already attached and clear on the kinds of brush sets that you want to use. If you're following along, brush set number 5. And then the last section is story. So what emotion or feeling are we going to incorporate in this illustration? Boredom. Okay, boredom. So our character, our Oriental cat, is bored. And then we've got scene. So that's our next one. Bedroom. Okay. And then our object. So what is an object that our character is interacting with? Fruit. So this can be fruit of any kind. Okay. And then finally, what action? Our bored Oriental cat. Stretching. Well, that's very appropriate. Stretching. Okay. So the story of this is, and before I get there, just a reminder that when it comes to the emotions or feeling, think about the color that aligns with this emotion. So if you think of boredom, what colors come to mind that represent boredom? Perhaps, you know, I imagine it's going to be very muted colors. It's not going to be vibrant and bright and high contrast. It's going to be subtle and muted, maybe quite gray. And then with regard to the actions, the emotion, object, or action can relate to additional characters in your drawing. So any of these other aspects you can introduce other characters if you choose to, and the story can also be centered around that particular character. So we are going to be drawing this week a curvy Oriental cat who is bored in their bedroom. There's fruit involved somehow, and stretching. So I can imagine like a stretchy cat. There's not going to be a lot of detail, so that we're not going to be filling the bedroom with much other stuff. Literally just the cat, a fruit, maybe a bed, and that's it. And it's going to be a lot of texture. And then we're going to draw our cat having a small head, big ears, small eyes, and small nose. So that is our prompt. If you would like to get this prompt, I will be sharing it over in Substack, where you can download it and refer to it as you please. And other than that, there's nothing left to do but to draw. So this was the last drawing prompt that we did. I reworked my sketch a little bit, and I haven't yet rendered it, so I still need to draw, like color it in. But it took me a long time to get the punching action. And what I reflect on the process, and I think it's such a good practice to reflect on your illustration practice. Like, don't just knock them out for the sake of quantity, but look for the learnings, the lessons, the insights that you can get from every drawing experience. I struggled with that. There's a punching action that was the action for this drawing, and I really struggled with the arm position and placement and shape. And I think the hand is probably still a bit small. Her head is a little bit big. Yeah, so I struggled quite a bit. I also recognize that I take far too long or longer. Yeah, let me qualify that. I take longer than I would like to with sketching, because I can recognize the perfectionist voice in me trying to get things perfect, and I feel like there's a lot, it's very static, it's a very static sketch, and I would like for it to be a bit more fluid, and I would very much like to work on having a looser line style. Yeah, I feel like my line style currently is very static, and yeah, I mean, maybe I would always, I feel like it's my default, and I would probably always come back to it, but I'd like to experiment with a looser sketch style, or yeah, sketching line style. Okay, so let us get to this week's illustration. So I'm going to pull up our prompt sheet so that I have it here to refer to, because I do forget. And I want to look up what an oriental cat looks like, because I don't, I think I have an idea, but I want to double check that what I'm thinking of is the case. Oh my goodness. No, that's so funny. What a funny looking cat. Oh my goodness. I feel like body shape. Okay, so we've got a curvy one. We've got a small head, yes, check. Big ears, check. Small eyes, check. They got big noses though. I might have to go with the big nose. So that you can see this is not a set in stone, you know, prompt. Look how squint that one is. That is so cute. Oh my goodness. I look at these and in the times that we live in, I wonder how much of this is AI generated. They are so cute. Look, looks like Dobby. Really? Wow. A funny looking cat. My goodness. Okay, that gives us a very good idea. These are the funniest looking cats. All right, time to draw. It's so funny. Oh my goodness. I could keep looking at these cats. All right. They are funny. All right, so number 5, I think it was. So I'll get my sketching pencil from my number 5 brush set. Stretching cat board. Let's see. There's not a lot of detail. I also have a tendency to over detail the scene, so I do want to keep it minimal. I'm thinking, no. So I'm trying to just lay out the general scene. I'm going to make this a bed. No, not getting my perspectives. I'm not sure yet about having a chair in the bedroom, but I'm envisaging a cat, an oriental cat, stretching bored with doing yoga. Or maybe he's on the bed. Yes. And his mom is doing, that's it, okay. So I'm going to introduce a new character. Can you see that? So she's stretching, she's doing the yoga, yes. And he's bored. These giant ears. She needs to be a bit bigger. Giant ears. Looks like a bat. There's a curvy one, but I'm gonna just give him a big belly because they seem to be slight cats. Shape of these ears. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna do these flat ears. That's okay. Oops. Droopy whiskers. Okay, so that's my cat. I'm gonna just zoom in here a little bit more. I feel like you're still too far away. I hope it doesn't diminish the quality. Okay. And then she can, I don't know, have a, maybe there's one plant in the back. No, don't like that. maybe there is a smaller tree. I've just got a top knot. Yeah, I'm doing away with the chair. I gotta think what else is there in a bedroom. Fruit. I need to incorporate fruit in here somewhere. Maybe it's a picture of fruit. Maybe she's got strawberries all over the bed. Okay, I'm going to do lemons. I'm not drawing lemons very well, but these will be lemons on the bedspread. Okay, and then maybe her top. So her eyes are going to be closed. And what fruit? Yeah, it's going to be strawberries. Okay, so definite fruit theme coming along. Make that the doorway. I feel like I'm going into too much detail here. It was a low detail prompt, but apparently I can't help myself. Maybe there's some other fruit I can put on another shelf here. I think I might move her more central. So it's a bit more balanced. Okay, I think I might put a plant or something here. So this is literally just the rough concept, and it does change as it does change as I refine it, but I like to just get an idea of what I'm aiming for or what I'm thinking of. But I'm pretty happy with that. I'm feeling good about making the fruit aspect of this prompt part of the decor as opposed to actual literal fruit. I think that is a nice little idea. And I probably will mess around more with the composition here because it's not quite feeling right. I might take him off the bed. Yeah. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna move the bed out of the shot a little bit more. And then I feel like he's going to be sat here, waiting for Mommy to finish. I like that. have the bed just go beyond him there, maybe. And here, aha, okay, this is not a plant. This will be an ornamental pineapple. And in the interest of less detail, I'm gonna reduce it to just the one shelf. Oh. I need to make it a bit more bedroomy. What else is in a bedroom? Maybe the bed must be over there. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Yes. Okay, so door will be there. Ooh, and I need to get perspectives going here. Okay, and then we'll have the lemon bedspread. Let's draw a lemon properly. Okay, just so I've got that idea down. And then I will center the oranges or apples or whatever that is. Maybe it's apples. There we go, we got a pineapple on the shelf. Ooh, and okay, that's gonna be something else. This is gonna be a little lemon tree. Like that. So this is gonna be, she's got strawberries. What else can I put? Watermelon, yes. Okay, this will be a watermelon bedspread. Okay, I am happy with that. That's my concept. A little pineapple on the shelf, a little, oops, a little lemon tree in the corner. mum stretching and bored oriental cat. Waiting for mum to finish her yoga. Cool. I'm very happy with that. I think that is a good initial sketch. We are at the top of the hour. Yeah, and I hope that you can see how an idea evolves, how it doesn't stay the way that it starts. It moves and changes over time as you start to take action. So he's going to be a grey little smudge of boredom over here, and yeah, I'm actually looking forward to finishing this one. Sometimes you feel an illustration, other times you don't. And what I notice now with this, because I mentioned my intention to be a bit more fluid with my sketching, I was kind of less attached to the outcome, and I think that made the difference, to be quite honest. Obviously it's not perfect, and I am going to refine it. I'm going to try and still like introduce this low or loose kind of sketching style, because as I said, it is something that I'm wanting to work on. So yeah, watch this space. I will share my completed drawings over in Substack, so if you're wanting to see how they turn out, then that's where you can go and get it. And if you want to get the drawing prompt, you can get that in the same place too. And what else? Yeah, that is it. I'll be scheduling our next illustration prompt session next week, Thursday, for the same place and same time. Apologies for being late today. I hope you enjoyed the session. I hope you got something from this. And yeah, happy drawing.